Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. I am Secret Lair, and today we are going over Auto Battle Online's new game mode, Crusades. I'm going to try and make this a two-parter, and this one is going to be about registering for Crusades. So, to register, you're going to be going to Upcoming. I believe registration is the Sunday to Monday time frame, unless you're on the other side of the world from America, then it's probably just Monday. Anyways, if you're between levels 150 to 420, you'll be logging in here and registering here. And if you are 420 plus, like me, you register here. This will say enroll up here, and you hit enroll. And the first thing you should see is an enroll deck. I'll go over the deck a little bit and all your options in a few little seconds. Okay, there we go. So some of your options, you have troops, archers, infantry, scouts that you can start with. At 4 stars, you get 2 tier 3 scouts, which is pretty nice. I recommend starting with 1 to 2. I'm starting for 2 sets of scouts for this world I'm joining. You get some buildings, so this is settlements, this is towers, this is walls, this is treasuries. It doesn't look like you can start with farms. So those are all being advantage. There's also kingdom, which is your castle, which I think is the most overpowered one of them all, starting with a tier 3 castle at 2 stars. It is extremely rare to get this card, so it's hard to get OP. You gotta spend lots of diamonds to get this. Yeah, Divine Protection. They have passive healing. I don't think they have passive healing without that. This ups your projectile damage. This ups your projectile resistance. This ups your siege damage. This ups your building's passive healing. Defensive plating ups your building's health. These are all long-term ones we're getting into. Like throughout the game, it'll be persistent. It's just not a boost in the early game. Increase all farming production. Increase all housing production. Useful, but I kind of feel like this and tax hike overlap. Because this increases income per turn by 10% permanently. And this is like increases housing production by 5% permanently. That's 1 star. This is 2 stars. So I feel like this is the same as that, but you might get taxes from, I think you get taxes from other things too, from things besides housing, like your castle. You have Overwatch, which I believe expands the amount of towers you can have, which is good for a defensive build, but that's iffy. And then treasury limit by 2, which you really don't need. I don't think you ever need state banking, unless you have some broken combination where you get too much money, but I haven't figured that out yet. You got War Chest here. War Chest gives you a bunch of starting funds. I highly recommend War Chest. You get Battalion. This gives you more barracks, which means you can produce more troops. State of Emergency reduces your army's upkeep. Tax hike, you already saw it. And then Hero's Blessing allows you to summon your heroes if they die the very next turn. So that's really nice. And so once you got your deck, so obviously I'm going for, I do everything I can to minimize the amount my troops cost me and maximize my money. And yeah. So my cards are good. So if you picked any buildings, this next map is going to show you what you start off with. So you can see here, I start off with basically just my castle. And normally you drag stuff here like, oh, okay, I start off with 2 villages, boom, boom. And then you are done. There you go. I hope my little tip about the cards helps you. Some cards are good for long term, some are good for short term. I do want to show you how you get cards. So you have these 3 different packs. They all have different things. This is very basic stuff. You get the bulwark target practice from this one. I think that's why I don't have that much of that. Then drop chance, you got your drop chances of this. You'll see that these are the lowest. Hero's Blessing is this one, so I recommend drawing from this one until you get Hero's Blessing. You have 2.5% chance of getting it. And lastly, you got the Divine Pack, which I highly recommend because that's the only place you can get Kingdom. Kingdom, you have a 2.5% chance. You want as much of that as possible, because starting with a much higher tower than everyone else is going to allow you to produce way more troops sooner than everyone else. Honestly, with the tier 3 tower I have, I'm going to be able to the very next turn start with tier 3 units. So the only reason I have these guys is to expand and take up another territory right away. But yeah, this one has a lot of stuff you want to have, like tax hikes. You got those, you got battalions, you got war chest. And I believe you have war chest in this one. You have state of emergency in this one. Do you have state of emergency in this one? You don't have state of emergency in this one. So I suggest a combination of these two packs is what you should pull from. This one you can pull from more often, but you definitely want state of emergency from this one. You get war chest in those from all of them. Hero's Blessing from this one. And you know, these ones are nice, but they're not needed. There's long-term and short-term strategies with this. The short-term is start with a strong army, expand as fast as possible. The long-term one is if you survive, you're going to have more damage, more defenses, and so your troops are going to live better. And so that's another strategy. In fact, I might switch over to it, but it comes to what you invest your cards in. I invested heavily into having that military advantage. So I hope this helps you guys. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the video.